own values, but the collective prayer has definitely a marked edge over the individual prayer. Another very important factor which should not be forgotten is that if you conceive of a situation where no collective prayer was said in Islam as an institution, would prayer survive at all? How many would there be who still say prayer individually? In fact, daily, 5 times, the minarets from the mosques declare Ashhadu Allah, Allahu Akbar, and the whole is on. And this constant reminder and the constant going and coming to the mosques by some of the society play the most important factor in making the prayer as such survive. If you take that factor out, of course there would be some servants of God who would continue to pray, but comparatively their number would be much lower. The same is applicable of churches or synagogues or other such places where congregation prayers are held, and this is a common feature of every religion. There too, if they were taken away, the individual inclination of people to say worship, to do worship to God, would be taken away as well. In reality, it's a very interesting comparison between Islam and other religions, that the emphasis in other religions is either overmuch on one side or overmuch on the other. Either you become a recluse, totally dissociate from your life altogether, and say your prayer individually, and you are not then expected or bound to go to any church, and it is good in the sight of Allah, according to some religions. Or you don't say your individual prayer at all, you are not expected. There is no such mention, no injunction, no order whatsoever. You just go to the church once a week or so, it's quite enough for you. It is the only religion, that is Islam, which has a most balanced teaching. A perfectly balanced emphasis is laid both on the institution of congregational prayer as well as on the individual prayer. So much can be said on this, but I think it should suffice.
In relation of this, can we say that discipline, as is exemplified by 5 times prayer and so on and so forth, is the first criteria for our saying prayers in congregation, and then of course meeting after our brethren?
No, it shouldn't be called first criterion. It is a part of, as I said, there are so many factors involved. The congregational prayers have so much message for us, so much to say to us in everything, that a lecture comprising many hours could be given on this subject. In fact, different scholars of Islam, Khulafa, Ahmadiyyat as well, have been speaking on this subject variously. Hazrat Masih Maud himself has gone into the philosophy of prayers, particularly congregational prayers, even azan and everything. So this subject is very, very, very large, and it can't be done justice in such short time.
So probably to the same point, that each individual has his own relationship, or at least wants to establish his own relationship with the Almighty.
Yes.
And if I want to, being a normal person, if I want to sort of cry to God and get close to Him, I'm just inclined to do that in front of hundreds of people who are sort of
You see, I tell you, I know, so why not do it alone when you are permitted to do it alone?
So then we waste the other time, the other prayers. I mean, we don't
No, you don't understand this. You don't waste time. When you understand the importance of congregational prayer,
no, I do that. I just want
what I mean to say is, if individuals are permitted not to say the prayer, if they consider it a waste of time, the whole society would ultimately leave it. It is the must which is keeping it alive. It is its feature of being essential, which is keeping the whole institution of prayer alive. So why don't you understand this? If individuals are permitted to make their choices themselves, hardly there would be 1 in 10 million or even more who will agree with you that this is our experience. A very big majority would speak to the contrary. They would say that this is the prayer which we need and prefer, and which we like most, and which is more beneficial to us. So, for the sake of 1 or 2, I'm telling you, when I say you, because you raised the question, so I addressed you, this is just a way of speaking. Don't take it personally. Anyone, if he is in a small minority, for the sake of 1 person, and that again is not for his sake, for the detriment of 1 person, because as it can be proved, his objection is to be overruled, because he is wrong there in his statement. It should not be accepted as such. But anyways, let us consider that his exception is accepted. Even then, for the sake of 1 person, why the whole institution of the prayer should be permitted to be destroyed? Because this is very important. Congregational prayers play the most important role in keeping the institution of prayer alive as such. So, if somebody feels otherwise, let him feel. But for the sake of this larger benefit to the whole society and to the institution of prayer as such, he must come to the mosque 5 times, if he can afford to, of course.
What I'm trying to read is that can we sort of distinguish between the feelings that we have when we come to congregation prayers? We hear the Imam reading parts of the Quran, and it gives us a feeling inside our system.
Not necessarily read out in three prayer, in 2 prayers it's not read out. I mean.
Just the fact that
Yes.
in the mosque and we have that whole
Yes.
aroma of that
Yes.
feeling of niceness and so on
Yes.
and so forth. But there is so little time in that to achieve that feeling of being near to God.
No, but you are not prohibited to spend the rest of the time. When you say so little time, you contradict your early statement, because you posed in the question before this that most of the time is wasted.
No,
While you say that it's a very little time which is wasted, because time in the congregational prayer is not enough to create that atmosphere for certain individuals. If that is not the basis of your question would fall.
Also, what I was trying to say is wasting as far as getting them to God.
Yes, I understand that. No, I understand. As far as the purpose is concerned, it's wasted comparatively. Exactly, comparatively. But yet you say it is too little. If it is little, you have plenty of time to yourself to reach God. Why don't you? You come here, because if you come here, you will keep the institution of prayer alive, and then so many people would have a chance to reach God. If you don't come here, you will save a little time of yours at the cost of the whole nation, because the majority among them would then cease saying prayers, because this institution is the safeguard of prayers. And then also at the cost of those people who reach God, who believe through their personal experiences more easily and more efficiently through the congregational prayer than by the individual prayers. So at their cost, and at the cost of the prayer itself, institution as I said, and also at the cost of so many other meaningful messages and benefits which maybe you call fringe benefits, but they are very important benefits to me. The discipline of Islam, what Allah expects of you, the unity of Islam, facing in one Qibla, standing behind an Imam, not moving before him. Even if he commits a mistake, you have to commit a mistake behind him. You have not to be rude to him, pointing out to his mistake. You have only to be very, very courteous and very submissive and respectful by pointing out in a manner as